Hey friends, here's your math warm-up for today. So we're looking at those bigger numbers with the hundreds, tens, and ones, and we're going to put them in order, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of different strategies just with a couple of numbers to put in order, and then when you're going into class this week, if you haven't already with your teachers, you're going to start putting a couple more numbers in order, so up to kind of 5 numbers in order from least to greatest today, and then we'll also, as classes kind of reverse, okay, greatest to least. But today we're on least to greatest. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to see some numbers and some shapes up here that I have. Okay. And they're all mixed, matched, out of order. Okay. Now, when I put numbers in order from least to greatest, it's not necessarily going to be like 4, 5, 6, like right after each other. It's not even going to be necessarily a skip counting by anything. So it might not be like a 10, 20, 30, 40, or even like skip counting by 10, by the way, or skip counting by 10 from a different number, like 22, 32, 42. It's not going to be necessarily in a certain pattern, like skip counting, but it's going to be in an order from least to greatest. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my drawing tool on all of this, but you can definitely use your text to type the numbers as well in Cami. But I'm going to use my drawing tool because I'm going to show you what I do, even with it's just 3 numbers like this, because then when I get into the bigger numbers, it makes it a little bit easier to put them in order. Okay, so what I do is I start like where this green box is, and I've got these from least, middle, and then greatest. Okay, greatest is going to be the red. So what I like to do is I like to put the ones at the kind of the ends first. Like those are the easiest ones to spot right. Like that's the least and that's the greatest. Okay, least is going to be the lowest amount. Greatest is the highest amount. Okay. So when I look at these numbers, there's a couple things I can do. I could build these numbers and I could make them here right now here on Cami. I could put them on my board and see how many tens, hundreds, and ones. I can do what I'm about to show you by looking at the hundreds, tens, and ones. I can also just kind of know it, or I can think of if I'm looking and counting on a number line, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the numbers down here, of course, are going to be the least, and it's going to kind of grow. So I'll kind of show you that last one on here as well. But one that I like to do is I like to pay attention to what the hundreds, tens, and ones place is on the standard form here. Okay, so when I'm looking at this number, I know that this is the hundreds, I know that this is the tens, and this is the ones, right? Hundreds, tens, ones. Same thing for here, hundreds, tens, ones, 100, tens, ones. So I start with the biggest one. Okay, I like to find the biggest one because it's cool, right? I'm going to start with the red. Okay, so I'm going to look at the hundreds, 200, 200, 200. I got no idea which one's going to be the biggest because they're all the same size right now, like 200. They all have 200s. So I'm going to go next door to the hundreds. Okay, 7, 4, and 7. So I've got 7 tens, 4 tens, and 7 tens. Ooh, these are matching. So one of these are going to be the highest. Okay, so I'm going to leave those alone, but I know this one is going to be the least. Okay, so what I could do is I could put this over here because 4 tens, if I had 4 tens and I had 7 tens, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, and this one has 7, 6, 7. Okay, I know that this one's already least, okay? But now I'm going to go next door because right now these both have 7 tens. So I'm going to go to the last spot, the 1 spot, and see which one is the most. 0 ones, womp womp, or 1 1, 1 one's more. So 271 is the greatest. And if I put those on the ends there, and I go, okay, I use that one, let's see, 246, done. 271, done. Then obviously the middle one is 270. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I like to double check that too. Because if I was thinking of like number line or counting, okay, there's 200. I'm going to do a 250. I'm going to do open number line, by the way, and 300. If I think of where these are, 246 would be about right there, right? 270 would be a little bit more past 250, and then 271 would be right after that. So on my number line, I should be going from least to greatest as well. So it's another way that you could kind of think of how to make sure that it's the right place. Okay, so I'm going to do one more with you. Excuse me, coughing on your camera again. Okay, and then I'm going to let you do, of course, the ones on your own. Okay, use my select, move my head out of the way. All right. So looking at our other numbers, I'm going to do similar. I'm going to look at the hundreds, tens, and ones again on this one because I really like that one. Once I kind of draw them this way, most of you are going to be able to do it without having to draw, but you can draw on Cami just like I am. I'm going to think hundreds, tens, ones first. And I'm going to see which one might be the most and put it here, and the least and put it here, and then that middle one's taken care of. Okay, again, today you might go, I can do them real quick in order. That's fine too. But again, once you start getting to where it's lots of numbers to put in order, it might be easiest to put those ends first and then work with the middle numbers. Okay, so let's look. First one, I got 700s, 100, and 300. Oh, so this one's kind of like whoop, whoop, a little bit easier, okay? Because I don't have to keep going on this one, okay? Because right now I know that this one's going to have 700s, this one's just going to have 100, and this one's going to have 300s. So I know this one's the most 700s. So 730 down here. I used you. Get out of here. And then now I have 100 or 300s. Okay, so again, it's kind of like I'm picturing it in my head, and hopefully you are too. This one has 100, and this one over here would have 1, 2, 300s. So if I look at that, then this one definitely is it's the least. So I'm going to put 160 down here in the least, and I'm going to say, get out of here. I'm done with you. And then I'm going to put my last one in the middle because I'm only ordering 3 of them. Okay, and I've used them all. And I'm going to show you double checking on the hundreds, or sorry, on the number line. So I'm going to say 100, 200, 300, 400. I'm going to stop right there for a second because 160 would be about right here, right? Boom, 160. 325 would be a little bit past 300, not quite to 400. So I've got this one here. I've got this one here. And then 750, if my number line kept going, would be way over here, right? So again, I've got my numbers in order from least to greatest on the number line too. So you use what works best for you. You've got one here that you're going to do on some little suitcases, least to greatest. Okay, and you've got some powerful ones, like a pal right there, least to greatest. And then one last on some, I don't know, doodles. I don't know what to call it except a little doodle. All right. So you got 3 to do. And then again, you will practice more with your class as well if you haven't already. See you next time.